Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Daniel, this is Allison. We are Play the Game, and today we are taking a look at Star Realms Rise of Empire, the new upcoming two-player legacy Star Realms game from Wise Wizard Games, who helped sponsor this video. Allison, how do you feel about Star Realms? I know we're not supposed to be opinionated because this is technically a preview.
Difficult. Now Star Realms, the base game, I have fallen.
We enjoy Star Realms.
I really like Star Realms. So when I heard that there was a legacy game coming out, I could not hide my excitement. And the fact that we were able to get to preview the prototype, oh my gosh. So what we're going to try to do.
Emotion gone.
Okay, we're going to try to keep my emotions down.
Yes.
We have played for the first four scenarios.
Yes, Wise Wizard Games sent us scenarios 1 through 4. This is a 12 scenario legacy game where you're going to be upgrading cards. Very similar base mechanics to regular Star Realms, but what we know of is upgrading cards, things like that. They've also teased a lot of stuff to us that we don't know about that is going to, I've been told over and over, really excited to see what's like in games 5 and on, the twist, the things that are going to be added.
I really need to lower my emotions.
Yes.
I'm trying.
No, we have played games 1 through 4. Mm-hmm. We have 2 playthroughs. We have a 2-part playthrough. Right. We did games 1 and 2 in one video, games 3 and 4 in a second video. And then after that, we did our afterthoughts segment where we did give our opinion. That is a review. So if you want to see how we actually feel about this game, unlike this stoic, just straight preview of the game, go watch our afterthoughts from that post. And then we'll leave links below to the playthroughs. Again, it's a 2-part playthrough, but it's through 4 games, which is the first 4 scenarios of the Rise of Empire legacy game.
Now, the Rise of Empire, it is the Empire versus the Trade Federation.
Yes, so this is the prequel to Star Realms.
Right. So it's the Empire has been biding their time to try to attack the Federation and then rise as the Empire.
Hopefully.
So you have the basics. If you've fallen in love with Star Realms, you understand the deck builder. So you have your deck, and then you have your starting hand, and you have your market or the trade row. Now with this one, you actually start with 11 cards versus the 10 because you get to start with your factions. So you're either the Trade Federation or the Empire.
Yep. So you start with, these are the 2 Federation cards you start with, along with 8 scouts and a Viper. Yes. Yeah. You start with, if you're the Empire, you start with the Smuggler and the Imperial Fighter. If you're the Federation, you start with the Federation Shuttle and the System Police. And those have faction-activated abilities, so you already start with the ability to chain cards together. Yeah,
which I love. So you're able to activate those things. But you get to then upgrade your cards. Now, it's a legacy, and I personally, this is personal again, opinion, it's really hard for me to tear cards in legacy games. I really don't. You don't have to tear your cards. Yes. They have stickers.
Yes. Now, there are 2 options for the upgrade abilities in this game. And first, let's talk really quick about how the upgrades work. In each game, again, we have 4 scenarios, but each scenario is going to come with some flavor text. And then as you play through the game, depending on who wins each previous scenario, the next scenario starts in it with a unique scenario based on who won the previous one.
A unique event almost thing before you start the game.
Yes, so if the Federation, on one of them, if the Federation won, then we started with 5 extra health. And if the Empire won, we started with something other than 5 extra health. And then one of the games, I think game 4 we got to, it was either each ship caused an additional damage if the Federation won, or
they had more, the shields had an extra strength.
Yeah, or the shields had an extra strength. And then if the Empire won, then at the start of each player's first turn, they may scrap any number of cards currently in the trade row.
It changes depending on who wins.
Yes. So to upgrade cards, when you upgrade a card, you have to do it when you acquire the card. Each player is going to have sticker sheets. And then there is a sticker sheet that you're going to be using throughout the game, which is the factions. So this right here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is the cost of the card. You can upgrade a 1 cost, a 2 cost, a 3 cost, a 4 cost, and a 6 cost card in game 1. It costs an additional 2 to upgrade a ship and an additional 3 to upgrade a base. Now, something else that is new in this game is the political victory.
Right, that's unique. Now that is depending on what you're able to upgrade. So if you are able to upgrade one of each of these, not the ship and the outpost, you can only upgrade one of those at that level. But if you're able to upgrade 5 in that first scenario, you can win the game without even knocking down their authority all the way to 0.
Yeah. Now, Allison said you have to pick whether to upgrade a ship or a base at each cost level. So your goal, if you are going for a political victory, is to upgrade 1 card of each cost.
Right.
So when you upgrade a card, you have 2 options depending on which level of the Kickstarter you back and which version of the game you have. You have the stickers, and then you also have the option for the infinite replayability kit. But basically, you have a deck of cards that has every upgrade option in the game. So let's go with stickers. So let's say I want to upgrade, I have a 6 cost. Let's say I want to upgrade this 6 Skyhound. This is the sticker version. I would take this, I would peel this off. I would have to pay 8 because it costs 6, an additional 2 for a ship, makes it 8. I would peel this sticker off. I'm not gonna do it, don't worry. And I would place it on the bottom of the card right here, covering up the faction ability and the bottom, so it keeps the main function of that card. Now I would also, because I am the Empire, I would sticker with the Empire faction, and that now becomes a combo faction. It now activates scavenger ships and Empire ships. So again, at the end of the game, all of those get shuffled back in. You don't reset the deck, you shuffle all of those cards back in. So you start each new game with your starting hand of 11 cards, but then there are new upgraded cards that activate multiple abilities, and it changes, so you can upgrade 5 cards per game for each team. So you have the potential, technically 9, because if you upgraded 10, then that would be 2 political victories. So you have a maximum of 9 cards per game that can be upgraded across all 12 games. This deck is going to be totally different later in the scenarios.
And I could also say he upgraded a few cards. They come out in the trade row. I can then purchase those cards. And if I have 2 of his Star Empire factions, I can then trigger his factions as, I think of them as being like, they were part of the Star Empire, and they were like, defected. No, we need to go to the Empire, to the Federation. And that type, like the flavor text of that. Yeah. Now, he mentioned the scavenger faction. There are 3 new factions in this game. The Blob, which is one that I happen to love, is not involved in this game. But you do have the scavengers, you have the kingdom, and you have, what's that last one? The consortium. Yes. So those are the 3 new factions that we've never seen before.
Yeah. And we also mentioned the infinite upgrade decks. So when you upgrade a card, if you have the infinite upgrade kit, what you would do instead of peeling and stickering, you would say, let's say with this Skyhound, it is a 6 cost card, and it adds the ability at a 6 cost ship upgrade. A target opponent discards a card, and it activates for the faction ability to hit 3. So I would go through my cards. I would find the Skyhound that matches. And there are multiple upgrades at each cost level as you play through the game. So you want to make sure that you're matching the correct card.
Yeah.
So this is the old Skyhound. This is my upgraded Skyhound. You can see it has my upgraded faction. It has the new ability that matches this. It has the same base ability. It also adds the target opponent discarding a card. And my faction activated 3 damage. I will now remove this card from the game. It is out of the game for the rest of the game. And this new card goes in. These cards are sleeved, so I'd put it in the sleeve. It would go in my discard pile, and it is available to use for me as I discard through it and play it through my hand. And also, it is going to go back in the trade deck at the beginning of each new game.
Right. So there's multiple ships of each kind in the trade row, and I have that same ship in mind with my upgraded ability. So I can still have that option to upgrade that ship with my faction abilities as well.
And again, the upgrades are based on the cost of the ship, not the specific ships. So again, with the infinite upgrade, the infinite replayability kit, it has every option for any upgrade throughout the entire game in there. And then when you're done with it, so these are our upgraded cards from the games we played. These aren't all of them. These are just a few of them. When you're finished with it, if you want to replay, start over at scenario 1 and just start from the beginning, you would just take all of these out. All of the cards that you replaced, you would shuffle back into the trade row. And it's really easy because you're just looking for any cards with the dual factions.
Right.
You take all of those out, you put all the other cards back in, and you are back to scenario 1. Obviously, if you had the stickers, if you've peeled stickers, things like that, that's going to be harder to do.
Right.
But I hope they're going to include just a printed card of the abilities so that you have that ability to go back. I would assume. Sense. Or if you have the sticker sheets, just don't peel the stickers when you play. If you're playing with the
just find a way to mark them that you've done those. Because, so say I was able to upgrade 3 cards in the first scenario. We move on to the second scenario. I still have the option to upgrade those same stickers, those same cards in the next scenario. I cannot get the political victory from those old scenario stickers, but I can still use those. And some of them are really nice, and I really like being able to add those in later on.
So that is the basics of the upgrading function of the game and the legacy function of the game. Again, there is more to the legacy part than that is going to come into play in later scenarios and possibly even in the earlier scenarios that they just didn't include in this preview for us. But I'm really excited to see because this just upgrading cards changed the game and changed just the strategy of the game so much from just the base Star Realms, where each game you have the ability to pick and choose new factions. With this, you really are making decisions that are going to ripple throughout the game. And there is a very key element on these cards that is, I believe, new to this. It may come out in some of those. I have not seen it.
No.
It is the when acquired ability.
That is key.
Yes.
That is really something you need to pay attention to, and something that I thoroughly enjoyed.
It made a difference in the gameplay.
It really did.
So, for instance, the Prince, when you acquire this card, you gain 5 damage. The Guardian, when you acquire this card, you may draw cards and discard a card. Now, the when acquired ability is only on the base cards, and I believe universally, when you upgrade a card, you cover up and change and replace that when acquired ability. So for a lot of these cards, something very different in this game versus base Star Realms is the ability to cull your hand and your deck. You don't have cards like you do with I can't remember the red faction, but in Star Realms, you can draw those red cards. You can build that up. They give you the ability to scrap cards in your deck. In this, for the most part, the ability to scrap cards comes from those when acquired abilities. So as you upgrade cards, you are also changing your ability and reducing your ability in future games to cull your deck and scrap cards. So
you don't have to upgrade every card that you purchase from the trade row. In fact, a lot of times towards the beginning of each game, I didn't upgrade a lot. You tend to upgrade right off the bat. And you'll be able to see that in our playthroughs and how we played it and the choices that we made.
Now, those when acquired abilities may or may not have had a massive impact on the outcome of multiple games in our playthrough. You'll just have to go watch them to see. But yeah, that is a huge difference in this game. It creates a lot of strategic thinking in which cards you get. It's not just, okay, I'm going to get this one because I want to be able to attack 6 later. It may be, I want to get this one. It costs more, but I want to be able to hit you for 5 now.
Right.
Yep.
Making those decisions now versus later. And it's the same when you're trashing a card. Is that card worth it to you later on? Or will the effect of it trashing it now, scrapping it now, be beneficial more now than it is later? And you make those decisions in any deck builder game. But this one is, I know we're not supposed to give an opinion. I can't wait to have played this in the 12th scenario to see just how dynamically different the trade row is and the decisions we make through the different things that happen with each scenario. I really, really wish we had all 12, and I can't wait till when we are able to play that 12th scenario.
Yeah. So this is Star Realms Rise of Empire. Again, the key things that are changed in this game is it is a legacy game. You have the ability to upgrade cards, give them dual faction abilities, and just make them stronger. You have the when acquired abilities that really, really, really changed the dynamic of the game as we were playing. You have the scenarios that are going to change depending on who wins the previous round. And there are victory points that are awarded to the winner of each scenario. And technically at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points wins. There may be some other elements in that as we play through, but in this, whoever has the most victory points, which it's 1 victory point per scenario, is going to win. It is a really good legacy take on Star Realms. I think if you are a fan of Star Realms, you definitely need to check this out because it is everything that we love about Star Realms with some really unique things that make it not just feel like Star Realms over and over and over and over again.
So this is Star Realms Rise of Empire. We will leave links below where you can check out the Kickstarter campaign as well as our playthroughs and our afterthoughts of the game so you can get our true opinions on the game.
Yes. And again, this is a prototype. So what you see here is, I think, very close in content, but the quality of the box, quality of the playmat, quality is all going to be very different in the final. So thank you so much for watching. Again, we'll leave links to where you can find all this. Go check it out. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.